What's up, YouTube? This is my third video tonight. This is Power Book 2. This is Ghost. This is Season 1, Episode 8, titled Family First. You guys, this was a good episode for me. There were just a few things that stood out to me that didn't make a lot of sense. But without further ado, let's talk about the episode, shall we? All right, you guys, let's get the shit out the way that annoys the hell out of me. You guys know who it is. It's Zeke, it's Carrie, and it's Jabari. So we see Zeke in the episode. So he went to Carrie's office, and Zeke is nervous because he has a game that's coming up. And at the game, there are going to be scouts there from, NBA, and it's also going to be televised on ESPN. So, Carrie is talking to him, once again, getting on my damn nerves. And, he tells Carrie that, what'll put his mind at ease is if he's able to see her. She says, well, it's a busy day, Zeke, but I'll call you later. Can we kill these two off? Maybe, can we kill all three of them off? So, Jabari, let's get him out the way too. So we see Jabari, and Jabari met with his agent. And, his agent is telling him about the book, that the publishers, they do like the book, but what they want to do is they want to know, how does the story end? Well, Mr. Agent, man, Jabari can't tell you, because what Jabari is plagiarizing from an 18-year-old. My, how low you got to go to plagiarize from a fucking 18-year-old. So we later see Jabari as he's reading Tariq's paper that he wrote. Now, while Jabari is reading the paper, he's assuming that Tariq is talking about Carrie, because he said that, with his canonical studies class, he wouldn't be in his class without, this person, this woman, this woman, and, she got this boyfriend that's a square. And I'm like, Jabari, but you're not her boyfriend. And even if Jabari is really stupid. You're really stupid. How would anybody know that you and Carrie got a relationship with each other? Y'all haven't said it. Jabari. Works my nerves. But in actuality, he's actually not even talking about Carrie. He's talking about Lauren. Oh, God. How much? Damn. Okay, we almost done with them. All right, so then, we later see Jabari. So Jabari was following Tariq, so he calls Carrie. Carrie didn't answer the phone, so he texts Carrie to try to meet up with him. Carrie tells him that she is meeting with the student. And I'm like, how do you think she's meeting with Tariq if you're following Tariq? Make that shit make sense, Jabari. Somebody please kill him. Somebody. Courtney. I know a few weeks ago I told you to give me a gun with 6 bullets in it. Actually, give me a gun with 2 bullets in it. Write a scene for me. Give me a gun with 2 bullets in it. Nope. 3 bullets. Give me 3 bullets. Because Niecy is gone, as my sister Roxanne calls it. Niecy is gone for now. Give me a gun with 3 fucking bullets in it, so I can shoot 3 people: Jabari, Carrie, and Zeke. Now, I know that Monet might come after me if I shoot her precious Zeke, but I'd be like, Monet, girl, your nephew is annoying the shit out of me. He's fucking his teacher, by the way. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, your nephew's fucking his teacher. How the hell you know? Girl, I've been watching this show for 8 weeks. And that's how I know. Well, it's not technically 8 weeks, but y'all know. Well, technically it is 8 weeks. I've been watching your nephew for the last few weeks. Your nephew is fucking this woman. I know for a fact. So, sorry. Killed him and his girlfriend. Now, if you want to kill me, bitch, come on. Bring it on. Actually, no, I can't tell her bring it on because I only told Courtney to give me 3 bullets. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, Monet would kill me. But it would be worth it to kill those 3. I don't even know where I was at, because I really just don't understand the direction with these characters. I don't understand the direction with Jabari and Carrie. I don't understand the direction with these 2. What is it? Courtney, please tell us what the direction is with these 2. I don't get it. But yeah, here we go. Jabari, he was following Tariq. And he texts Carrie. She said she was with a student. If she's with a student, it's not Tariq. It's not Tariq. But whatever. So he ends up following Tariq, who ends up meeting up with Drew to get some more product. So obviously Drew and Tariq were talking loud as hell because I mean he was writing everything down. So he was getting ready to text, Carrie to be, to be careful with Tariq. But then at the same time, his agent sent him an email saying that the publishers like the book, but they want to know how it ends. He don't know how it's gonna end. So then later in the episode, we see Jabari again. He's researching Tariq, and he's finding out stuff about Raina and Angela. I'm like, dude, you really finna get yourself killed. Thank God. Okay. So Carrie and Zeke. So before the game, we see Carrie and she asks Zeke, how is he? He says he's better now. So then Monet show up and she's like, is this the teacher that got you on suspension? He's like, nah, auntie, this ain't her. Monet was ready to whoop her ass. I would have been here for it. I was really here for it. I'm like, Monet, stab her, shoot her, do whatever you got to do to her. I don't care. Get rid of her. Throw her body in the harbor. Throw her body in the Hudson. That is New York, right? The Hudson River's in New York, right? Oh, God. I'm still talking about Jabari. But this is the last thing. So we see Jabari, he's trying to, do chapter 9 of his book. And then he downloads Course Connect. That's it with Jabari. And Carrie, that was 6 minutes. God. Let's move on. All right, you guys. Next, I'm going to talk about Tariq, and then I'm going to actually wrap up the episode talking about Kane and Monet them. So we see Tariq. So Tariq, and this is actually the beginning of the episode. So Brayden comes in the room, and Tariq tells him that they got the re-up. And Brayden was like, but we're short, and this is homecoming weekend, and we can stand to make a lot of money. So, Tariq tells him, well, the Connect is having some issues with their supplier right about now. And then Brayden was like, well, we could do a lot more if we just sold Coke. And Tariq is like, absolutely not going to happen. So then we see Tariq. So Tariq goes into his class. He's late, per usual. And since this is homecoming weekend, the parents are there. So we see Lauren's mom is in the classroom. We see the little white girl. Her dad is there. We see Bruchandria with her mama, who is just like Bruchandria. Ghetto, but I love them. So Jabari and the other professor, I can't remember what his name is off the top of my head. So they're there, and they're talking about the book that they're going to read. So then, Jabari asks, has any of the parents read the book? Well, Lauren's mom has read the book, and Lauren's mom is being an ass kisser. And Jabari's like, well, she's kind of sucking up. She's letting it be, well, she's kind of putting on, letting it be known, hey, I'm knowledgeable of that. And he says, well, I see where Lauren gets it from. So then the little white girl's dad, he says, why are we even reading this book anyways? And the white professor's like, because it's about the racial divide. And that's very prevalent in this day and age. And then Brushandra's mom like, yeah, keep, basically telling him to be quiet. So then after the class, Tariq gives his paper to Jabari, and he tells him, Jabari tells Tariq that he thinks he's lying to him. I'm just so fucking tired of Jabari at this point. So then we later see Tariq. So Tariq, he ran into Lauren and her parents. Now, Lauren's mama needed to get her ass slapped in the fucking face when she was like, and y'all know the situation with Tasha, that she's, in jail for, the murder of her husband. She's like, your mom, they couldn't let your mom be released just for this one weekend. So they invite him to lunch with them. And Lauren, he says, okay, I'll go, but I got to do something in my room. So Lauren follows him to his room. And, she's like, so what happened the other night? Like, what was that? What was that? He says, well, you had just broke up with your boyfriend. And if I push up on you, then I will look like an asshole. And I don't want to look like that. She says, well, why didn't you just say that? So while they're talking, there's a knock at the door, and it's Effie. So when Effie came in, she was like, oh, this is the reason that you were like that. So when Lauren leaves, Effie's still in there, and Effie is like, she's on campus because she's trying to sell some of her Coke. And Tariq tells her, well, I'm not in the business no more, so you ask how to look. So then I'm gonna stop right here. All right, you guys. So next I'm gonna talk about 2-Bit. I forgot about this stuff, so I want it all to flow. So we see 2-Bit. So 2-Bit went to visit Spanky's mama, who was portrayed by the comedian Lunel. So she's asking him like, so how did you get out? And he was like, those white people, they fucked up some shit in my paper, my paperwork, so I'm out. So then she's asking him about, people were saying that Spanky was a snitch, and she's asking him if he know anything. He says, if I knew anything about who got my homie killed, I would basically murk them. So then he gives her some money. Now when he walked off from her, he had a smirk on his face because he is the one that got Spanky killed. So then we see 2-Bit. So he shows up on campus, and he walks up to Lauren and her family. He asks them where the freshman dorm is, and he said he's Tariq's cousin. Now they were having a conversation prior to him walking up, so they were talking to Lauren about Malcolm. They want Lauren to get back with Malcolm, and the dad is like, well, she's like, it's done. He's like, well, I'm still gonna play tennis with him or whatever. I'm like, damn, don't care about your daughter, huh? So then we see 2-Bit. So 2-Bit shows up to Tariq's room. Now 2-Bit says that when he knocked at the door, Tariq thought it was Effie coming back, but actually it was 2-Bit. So 2-Bit tells him like, yo nigga, Ghost owed me some money. Now that he's dead, the debt is on you. And Tariq was like, I ain't got shit, man. Like I don't have any money. So he pulls some money out of his pocket, like, nigga, I don't want your allowance. Like I want $24,000. He's like, I don't give a fuck how you get it, when you get it. I want that shit. So he says, you know what? You got 24 hours to give me my money, or me and my friend, we coming back here to see you. So then we see Tariq. So Tariq calls the lawyer, who was portrayed by what's his name from the guy who played Alvin on the Cosby Show. So Tariq is trying to get an advance on his inheritance, but Tariq has not met all the qualifications to get his inheritance. He has to get a college degree with a 3.5 GPA. God damn, a 3.5? That nigga got to make all A's. He has to make all A's. He's already failed his canonical studies paper. And he was like, so you've been following? You keeping up with? He says, yeah, that's another term of the condition. I have to keep up with you. So, he says, well, I need this as a loan because of some of the stuff that's going on with my dad. Someone's trying to, come, they want to sue him. And he's like, okay, well, you got my number. Have them call me. So then Tariq calls Tasha and asks Tasha, is there any more money hidden anywhere? She's like, well, if there was, I would have done told you about that. So he asked her, she asked him, what's going on? He says, I can't involve you in that. So then, he asked her, how do you work with someone that you can't trust? And she says, well, when your dad cheated on me, the way that I got him, the way that I was able to work with him is I got him to trust me. So that's what you have to do. So then we see Tariq. So he's talking to Effie about her product. So Effie is now like, why the change of heart? And Tariq tells her, well, when, my mom is going through her situation. So at this point, I just need the money to help my mom out. So, Tariq manages to get her to trust him. And, they get hot and heavy in that room. I'm like, I really didn't need to see this. She took his shirt off. There was that gun in his pants, and she had a gun in her purse. So we see, later the next day, Effie shows back up with the coke. So Tariq is giving Effie the layout of the school of the land about who she could approach to sell the product to. Now we later see Braden and Trace. They're having brunch with their parents. And Trace is high as fuck, like seriously high. So high that, his nose is bleeding. I'm like, dude, how much coke did you do? And, Trace, he left. And Braden asked the little sister, like, what the hell is going on with him? She's like, yeah, we did a line of coke. You think? You did more than a line of coke. Now, them parents, they dysfunctional as hell. I'm like, that daddy got a Me Too. Actually, the mom said in the age of Me Too, I'm like, I'm pretty sure he got more than one Me Too case that's happening because he's cheating on the mama. So, Tariq and Effie, we see them. They've sold the product. They made $50,000. So, Tariq got a text from 2-Bit about, getting his money. So Tariq was like, well, I got to go meet up with him. She was like, oh, well, how about I come with you? And she's like, well, I was only here for the weekend. I can stay longer if you want me to. I'm like, ooh, okay. And she's also wanting Tariq to, really get into this whole coke business, whatever. So, Brayden, he finds Tariq. And, he's telling Tariq that, somebody is selling coke on their turf. Now, he wonders if it's Effie. And Tariq says, well, hell, I don't know. And then Tariq was like, with this coke thing, do you know how much, do you know how to break it down? Do you know how much the street value of it and all this kind of stuff? And he was like, no. He says, like, oh, okay then, leave it alone. So then later in the episode, Brayden, he finds Effie and she's mad at Tariq, which we'll talk about that in just a minute, why she's mad at Tariq. And she feels like she got played by Tariq. And then she tells him, the little sister comes up, she's like, oh, you again. You got any more of that white stuff? And Brayden was like, so you sold it to my sister? She's like, yeah, me and your boy. I'm sure he probably got some more. I'm gonna pause here and move forward, you guys. Actually, no. So I'm gonna finish it up with this, and then we'll double back to this scene that I'm skipping over. So we see Tariq, he goes back to his room, and Brayden is there, and Brayden is mad at Tariq for lying to him about Effie, about the coke, about everything. This is very reminiscent of the way Ghost did Tommy. So I'm gonna pause here, and we're gonna keep moving, you guys. All right, you guys, next let's talk about Kane. So you guys know Kane, he's still in his feelings about Monet working with Tariq. So Kane is gonna work with the GTG boys, and they're going to try to kill Tariq. Now this is the scene that I had the issues with. So like I said, it's homecoming week at Stansfield. Is that the name of the school? Whatever. So what they're doing is they're putting face paint on the guy. So one side of his face is blue, the other side is white. I'm guessing that's the school colors. So they give him a shank to take with him to kill Tariq, because that won't go off in the metal detector. So then we see the guy show up to the game, and Tariq notices him. First thing Tariq noticed was his shoes, which I'm like, that was a dumb rookie move. And then the next thing was the fact that the dude just kept staring at Tariq. I'm like, dude, you are making yourself like really obvious, and that's what got on my nerves. It's like, if you have a mark, why would you draw attention to yourself by looking at the person? What you would do is, if you have a picture of them, look at your phone, not even look directly at them, like look out the corner of your eyes, or do something, or either walk by them or something, but don't look straight dead at the nigga. So Tariq, he goes and sit with, Monet and the family, and he tells Monet that, he's running low on his product, and she tells him, well, right now, I ain't got it, but once I do, I'll get back to you. So then Tariq gets a text from 2-Bit, and so he leaves to meet him, and then the dude that, Kane's, the dude from the GTG is there, and once again, Tariq notices the nigga looking at him. So Tariq texts, 2-Bit to meet him at the pool. So Tariq goes towards the pool. Him and the dude start running, and I'm like, ain't nobody gonna say, why you running? Like, they are literally running through this gymnasium, but nobody says anything. So Tariq and the dude go into the pool. They start fighting. Tariq gets his metal pole, tries to swing it at him, misses, and then the dude gets on top of him. So the pole is on the ground. 2-Bit comes in there, knocks him out, and then, pushes the dude in the pool. And then Tariq notices that his phone is going off. He says, well, whoever sent him, they asking, am I dead? So 2-Bit gets the phone. He takes a picture, somebody, yeah. And then he says, and also in the message, he says, whenever I see you, I got you. Basically, they're telling Kane that he's dead. So when Tariq tried to hand 2-Bit the money, and 2-Bit's like, this ain't enough, nigga. Like, I just saved your life, so you owe me more. So when Tariq goes back to sit with the family, Kane, like, he saw a fucking ghost. So that's when Kane got the text messages that 2-Bit sent. I'm like, damn, that was a delayed ass. Well, I guess they were. I'm like, is the pool in the basement or some shit like that? Like, what we gonna go with that when it's in the basement? Because that is kind of plausible, to be quite honest with you. Oh yeah, it said he gonna get clipped. It said Kane got a text message that said he's gonna get clipped. So then Kane gets on the phone and calls, whoever sent the text message, says, whoever this is, whenever I find you, you dead. And Tariq is the one that answered the phone and heard that it was Kane. So then after the game, we see Zeke, we see Everett and some other team members, and they go to the club. They're having a good ass time. Drew called Everett on the phone. He declined his call. So what did Drew do? He called what's his cousin? Zeke. And Zeke told him, hey, at the club, he said, hell, if you can get away from Monet, come on down. So Zeke and his boys are having a good time. So then they go in their section, and some girls come over there trying to holler at Zeke. He's like, hey, I'm good, but y'all can talk to my boys here. Now, Everett, if you want to play the straight role, you really got to play it well, because that little chocolate girl, she was trying to holler at you, and your home up here had to tell you, like, hey, man, you ain't had no pussy in a while, so go get some. So Everett and the girl on the dance floor, Drew shows up. When Drew shows up, Everett, he got to huff and puff and walk away. Drew following behind him. I am so tired of this back and forth with Drew and Everett. Drew, if you're going to be with this dude, you know how he is, you know how he operates. He is on the DL. Like, if you want to be with this dude, you got to accept that. Accept it for what it is. Like, damn. So, as they are leaving the club, the dude from the GTG comes up to Kane. Not Kane. He comes up to Zeke. Wants to take a picture with Zeke. Then he gut punches Zeke. And so he got a gun. Everett and Drew are walking out. They're talking. And then they see them. And, he got the gun pointed at his kneecap. I'm like, oh, damn. Ooh, I'll be honest with you guys, I cringed when I saw him point that gun. I'm like, dude, if he busts his kneecap, that is literally nothing but bone. Ooh. But, Everett, old scary ass, he took off running. Drew, that nigga, he went and beat the shit out that dude. Damn near killed him until Zeke had to tell him to stop. So, Monet. Now, Monet is going off on Drew, and I'm like, girl, if it wasn't for, Drew, your star basketball player would have a shattered kneecap. So, yeah. So then we see Drew. So Drew goes over to that girl's crib that Diana went to. Once again, she's saying that Drew not there, until Drew said, well, people are looking for him, and if I thought that he was here, I'm pretty sure they would think the same thing. And she was like, Drew, get your shit and get the fuck out. So then, Drew tells Kane what happened with the GTG. And he tells him, like, Monet don't have to find out if you go and take care of the GTG. He was like, I got it. So then Monet is talking to Drew, and she knows exactly what happened. That, Drew sent them to kill Tariq. Tariq ain't dead. They think it was a setup. They coming after them. And she's like, so you made all these calls? He was like, yeah. She's like, only a true leader would do that and take the fall. So, okay, so yeah. So Kane, he went to see the GTG, started killing up the dudes. Now he left that one dude alive. And, he tells him, he's begging with Zeke not to kill him. And, not Zeke, but Kane. Kane says, okay, I ain't gonna kill you, but I want half of, everything. Damn, I forgot to talk about Zeke in this. Oh, shit. Well, let's wrap this up. Zeke went over to Milgram's. That's it. So then we see Kane. So Kane goes home. Diana opens the door, and Diana says she don't want you to come in. And, Diana gives him some money. She tells him, you might want to get out of town. So, because she tells him he's not welcome. So as he's leaving, he sees Monet up in the window, and she closes the curtains, and then he go and spits. But I'm like, Kane, this is all your fault. Like, you're the reason that this is happening. So let's wrap up this. We'll talk about, because I skipped over Tariq in one scene. So Tariq, he called Tasha, and he's telling Tasha that someone tried to kill him, and she was like, "You need to tell me what's going on with you." So then she texts Lorenzo to call her. So Lorenzo calls her, and she's like, "Well, if you the boss, then you called the hit on my son, and I know about Monet. So if anything happens to my son, I'm gonna make sure that something happens to Monet." So then we see Tariq and Monet meeting up. And Monet tells Tariq, like, they're meeting in public, however. And, Monet tells him, like, "I didn't send Kane to kill you. Like, that wasn't on me." She says, "But I do understand that if you don't trust me, I do get it." She says, "But what I will say, Tariq, is don't go after Kane, because if you go after Kane, I'm going to come after you." Now, she says, if Kane, if you're on the street and, something, and you happen to bump into Kane and he tries something with you, if you take him out, it is what it is. I'm like, damn. She said, fuck it. She said, fuck it. If he walks up on you and you take him out, I understand. But all in all, you guys, it was a good episode to me. Minus that Carrie and Jabari situation, and minus that GTG member. That was weird. If you want to kill somebody, why are you going to draw attention to them and yourself? Stupid. But let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else. Share this video. And until the next one, you guys do me a solid. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. And socially distance. And until the next one, you guys, I will see you guys later. Actually, I will see you guys again on Tuesday for the haves and the have-nots. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and that'll wrap it up for me this week. I won't be doing the week's hottest topics, and there is no Life After Luck this Friday. So I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.